Welcome in to episode 2 of the Nest ATL podcast. We had D. Orlando Ledbetter last week, longtime beat writer, but this week we're bringing in a former player. You know him from all the great years of the Atlanta Falcons, had the great pick six in the Super Bowl. You know his name, Robert Rocky Alford. Robert, thanks for joining, man. How you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Now, first question right off the bat, you're the former player. It's always great to get this perspective. I've spoken to some, writers. We spoke to D-Led. We spoke to Todd McClure as well. It's a new regime for the Atlanta Falcons. Your former teammate, Matt Ryan, now the president of football over there in the branch. You got Kevin Stefanski, Ian Cunningham. Just first, right off the bat, what do you think of those three moves?
I feel like they was very big for the organization with Matt Ryan being already a player in the organization, knowing from a player's perspective what players would like to see. And then he bringing in Kevin from for the coaching staff, and I feel like most of the coaching staff that he's put together that I've seen has been very vital for the actual organization. So I feel that Matt and the Falcons are trending in the right direction. They're making the right moves in free agency, and I'm very eager to see how the draft is going to pan out. And I'm sure he's going to do what he needs to do to bring this organization back to positive standards that me and ex players and the fans want to see.
Yeah, no doubt. And the team was very busy so far, still is in free agency. Honestly, a lot more active quickly than I thought they would be, bringing in a bunch of guys in this free agent class. What do you think of the guys they have brought in? I know Tua Tagovailoa, the big headliner, no doubt, being the
Right.
quarterback, the most important position, but they also had a few other additions. What were your thoughts on the guys they brought in so far?
Yeah, those are guys that I feel could get the organization back to where they want to be at. Most of the guys have played a substantial amount of time in the league, so they're bringing that leadership role to the organization. And like you mentioned, Tua, like he was a leader for the Miami Dolphins, so to bring a guy like that caliber into the organization that could help Penix out along the way. Also, as we know, Penix did go down with a ACL injury towards the end of the season. So Tua will have to start a couple games. That's if Penix isn't ready to start during week one. So I feel to have someone in that role that played a lot of football, played at a high level, coming in will help the organization start off in a good direction.
Of course. And being that former player who's been in these locker rooms before, you saw what went down with Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins, the dynamic that was there. It seemed very positive for what it's worth. But for a young player, specifically in that position, the quarterback, you're trying to grow him, you're trying to give him confidence. Bringing in a guy like Tua, do you think that is threatening in any way to a guy like Penix, or do you think it's something that he's in the understanding of, hey, I've dealt with these injuries. The team's trying to get a successful jump to the start of the season and ease me back in while I'm still recovering from this ACL to where I don't have to rush it back.
Mhm. I feel that Penix he understands the whole ordeal. He understands the situation. He know this is his third ACL, so he's not foreign to the process of getting back to full health. So I feel he understands that move that the Falcons organization made to bring in Tua. So and it's someone that he can learn from also along the way. Just seeing the things that are out there about Tua, how he's all about the team, all about the players. I'm pretty sure a guy in that caliber um is not going to hold back those important things that he know throughout his duration of the NFL that he'll be able to pour into Penix. So I feel that's going to be something that's going to be real good for Penix, and I don't think that he feel no type of way. If anything, that'll probably give him more, you know what I'm saying, more grit, more eagerness to get back to full health at the end of the day.
Yeah, no doubt. And going back to that, the free agent acquisitions, like I said, still not over yet. The draft still upcoming at this point. But as a former cornerback on this team, this is actually a position that I've been watching really closely because they've addressed certain areas so far, defensive line, linebacker, wide receiver two, bringing OZ back into this lineup. But I've been looking at the secondary right now. You let D. Alford go to Buffalo. You need another guy opposite AJ Terrell. Is there anybody in mind that you have for that spot, or do you think maybe it's more of a draft thing?
Um, they have some guys out there, but I feel the organization might trend more so towards the draft. As you know, the lead always want younger guys to come in. So I feel that's going to be the thing with last year. They had Billy, who they drafted to be the nickel. I think Billy can play outside a little bit too, also. So I think they're going to trend more so towards the draft and seeing how the draft pan out. I'm not inside the organization, but I'm pretty sure they seen some people from this past scouting combine too that could come in and help the actual organization. But yeah, for me, I would feel that it would probably be more so towards the draft that they'll find their guy.
No doubt. And you were a part of the last time this team had a winning record and went to the playoffs. It's been a really long time. They've got one of the longest losing streaks as far as not making the playoffs in all the NFL. What does it take to make the playoffs in the NFL? Just from a pure locker room standpoint, a roster perspective, is there a particular vibe or feel that those types of locker rooms have when those teams are good and they're making the playoffs year in, year out?
Yeah, it's gonna start off with the coaching staff. As Matt them, they put together a great coaching staff, as I mentioned at the beginning of the thing. So it's gonna start off with the coaching staff and the players trusting in the coaching staff. So it's almost a coaching player type vibe that you want. I know, like you said, when we went to the Super Bowl in 2016, man, it was like everyone was family. We was having fun. We was winning. The players trusted the coaches trusted the players. Everything was just hitting on all cylinders. So for me, I feel it starts, like you said, I was in the locker room. It starts with the coaching, and that the players trusting the coaching that they're going to put them in the right position to make plays on the ball and come away with wins.
Absolutely. And after, we talking about free agency, talking about, the winning culture, got some fun questions I want to ask you now. So, over the course of your career, when you were with Atlanta, who was the funniest teammate?
Oh God, the funniest teammate. Oh, it was most definitely is either Eric Weems when I first got there, Eric Weems, or is Duke Riley. Duke was a guy that was always energized, always dancing, cracking jokes. Of course, he's from Louisiana, where I'm from, and just love to dance and just have fun. I say Eric Weems. Eric Weems was one of those guys that we used to always call Tip because he always looked like T.I. to us. And like he always spoke like him. He had that accent, just a funny guy that just loved to have fun and came to a facility. If you was one of those guys that was down, he was always a guy that was gonna bring you up, crack jokes, things like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Next question sort of goes hand in hand with that, but as the media and with the fans, they just see the press conference stuff. They see the post game stuff. Do you have a funny, interesting story from your time with the Atlanta Falcons that maybe fans didn't quite see, or maybe something about a player that they just weren't really aware of?
Um, One of the funniest moments. Golly, bro, it's been so long. I mean, I feel like all of my time was real fun. Ooh, you got me with that one. You got me with that one, Miles. You got me with that one.
Take
Because
your
I
time.
feel like, especially it had to come from 2016. Funniest moments, man. It would probably had to be a time when we had like a dance off in the locker room. Everybody was just dancing, and of course you'll see some guys that didn't have that 1-2, they couldn't dance or whatnot. So it definitely had to be that time, 2016. Like I said, we was winning, we was hitting on all cylinders. So everybody was just charismatic, having fun because we was winning and just being themselves. Nobody was in a drought because as you know, when it's a winning season, everybody's feeling good. And yeah, that was probably one of the moments that I say I had the most fun and um we was dancing to just show everybody like how they felt inside.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt. Tough to argue with 2016. And
Yeah,
speaking of
yeah.
that, I know you've told this story ad nauseum a bunch of different times. I hate to bring up bad memories, but it's kind of a good memory as well talking about this. Your pick six of Tom Brady. It's one of the most memorable moments in Super Bowl history. Obviously, unfortunately, didn't go the Falcons' way, but can you walk me through what that moment was like for you?
Yeah, man, it was a very memorable moment. I feel like I it'll never be forgotten. As you know, they always show it every year during the Super Bowl time. But man, that was real. I felt real good after the interception. Going into the week, I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. We went over that same exact play countless times. Whenever you see Edelman in this position or that position, this is what he was running. And the play presented itself. That was one thing that the coaching staff harped on that whole entire year. Like, get you 4 or 5 plays that you study on film, and when they present themselves, you go out there and you make a play. And there was one play that I was put in, and I was able to make a play on it. And now it's a memorable moment for me and my family. My kids, when they grow up, I'm pretty sure most of their buddies or friends that they have will always come up whenever they daddy name comes up, that they'll talk about it. So that's one play that I never forget. Like you said, it didn't go our way. It's a team sport, and of course we wanted to win the Super Bowl for the city of Atlanta. So it's a up moment when that happened, and then it's a down moment at the end of the game, because we wasn't able to host the Lombardi at the end. So
When you see that replay, when you see Tom Brady diving at your feet and he misses and it's just nothing but green in front of you, at that moment, are you thinking, man, this thing's over?
yeah, I definitely thought that after you see the scoring and just know how our offense was pretty much going during that year. Like, we was going on offense, they was going like 40 points easily. So we always knew once we get 2 turnovers, like, we'll be up by 14 points, and it's no way nobody's going to stop our offense with the firepower that we had. Like, we had firepower on the outside, the line was doing good, Matt Ryan, the running backs, the two-header with Tico and Freeman. Like, we just knew like it wasn't gonna be over. And like, in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, I done scored a touchdown. Like, it's definitely over with. But yeah, I was sadly mistaken, and it ended how it ended. And all we can do is just, I mean, watch it every year when they show it during the Super Bowl year. And I'm pretty sure when Tom go into the Hall of Fame in Canton, they're gonna show it again and talk about it again. So yeah, it's one of those moments that it was a high and it was a low moment.
Yeah, no doubt. And that transition going into 2017, how difficult is it to kind of put that in the rearview mirror? Because you guys went back to the playoffs in 17. You know, you one went away from beating or a play away rather, from beating the Eagles. And obviously the Eagles go on to win the Super Bowl that year. But how difficult, easy is it to kind of move past that at that point and say, hey, this is a new team. We've got a lot of the same cats back here. We can make another run here.
Yeah, as you know, man, we didn't make too many moves after the Super Bowl year. A lot of teams, like, they'll probably trim the roster all the way down to you barely see players from that Super Bowl year. So we still had guys from the Super Bowl year. Maybe it was a couple guys that wasn't there, that was there for the Super Bowl, but pretty much we had the whole team. And we knew that we could get back there. Like, we still had the same, like I said, we still had the same guys that went there 2016. And like you said, we went to Philly and we should have won that game. And that was another heartbreaking moment, because we knew if we won that game, we already had played Minnesota during the season. Pretty much, I think True and I want to say B Pool both was down, so we didn't even have all of our guys during that game, and we was able to win that game. So we knew if we got past Philly, it was gonna be a rematch with us and New England. So, but I don't want to go straight away from your question, but we knew that we can get to the Super Bowl again. And during that all season, we had all the momentum, all the positivity to get there. With us coming off of that Super Bowl loss, as the way we did, everyone had that dog in them to get back there, and was hungry to get back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you mentioned your former teammate there, True, Desmond Trufant. You guys were taken together in the same draft class. Cornerback one, cornerback two. You guys kind of held it down there for a few years for Atlanta. What was that dynamic like with you and him? Especially getting drafted together.
Yeah, man, I love True. True is like a brother, man. Like you said, when we first got drafted together, we came in. You would think that it'll be some type of confusion with one guy going first round, one guy going second round. It was never like that. I still remember vividly when we first came in to rookie camp together. Like it was no type of hostility or animosity towards one another. Like we literally like clicked. Since day one, and we never let that like stray away from us. We always use each other as motivation. We always study together. If one seen this on film, we make sure we converse with each other to make sure the other one know. Because as you know, like in football, if they whatever they do on one side, they flip flop and then do it on the other side. So we made sure we stayed deep rooted and always informed each other on what it was to come. Yeah, I love True, man. There was a great trio that we had when me and him was here in Atlanta. We done some good things. Some things I feel like most fans overlooked it, and now they see like, oh yeah, those guys was really a good trio for the Falcons. So um yeah, man, nothing but praise and love for my boy, man. If you watching, man, hey, True, you already know, man. Hey, we locked in for life, dog.
No doubt. And going back to your own draft journey, with the NFL draft coming up, you were, I believe, one of the highest players, if not, I believe, the second highest drafted player out of Southeastern Louisiana. What was that moment like for you getting picked up?
It was real big. Bro, I got a long story. When I first got to Southeastern, man, it was like a thing. Like I wasn't highly recruited. Not too many people know that I wasn't highly recruited like they do now. They say 4-star, 5-star. I was no star coming out. So I was one of those guys that always had the chip in and that underdog mentality. Wanted to be noticed. So that always kept the grind mode inside of me. So I chose Southeastern. Like I said, I wasn't highly recruited, so I wasn't too many teams didn't want to get me. Southeastern, little bitty Southeastern was right there in my hometown of Hammond. So once I got there, it was guys that always like I remember a guy was asking me like, what's your dream once you got here? I'd like to make it to the NFL. And I still remember the guy was telling me like, oh, nobody makes it from Southeastern. So that was something that I kept in the back of my head every day I went to practice. Every day I was in the weight room and I trained on by myself. I always kept that in me. So once that day came, um that I was getting drafted, it was a big moment. I shed some tears. I had my family there. My girlfriend, who's my wife right now, she was there, and it just showed. I feel like it helped that organization out too with getting players there, letting them know like it's like you can get picked from here. Yeah, it's good. Like it's always sound cliche, like, oh yeah, the scouts are they'll come and get you wherever you from. But once you do it and you've been preaching about it and you're able to prove it, it's more like satisfaction. And showing like guys that's coming behind you that they can do the same thing. So yeah, it was very big for me. Like I was the first player to get drafted since 1970, 1975. So that was real big, man. That was real big, and yeah, that's a moment I always cherish. At the end of the day, too.
No doubt, no doubt. And taking things back now to the present day, who do you think is the biggest player that with obviously without calling anybody out, not saying that these are bad players or anything, but is there anyone specifically that you're looking at this season in 2026 to be like, hey, I need to see this guy step up and increase his role with this team?
Um, because I was gonna say Penix, but he's hurt right now. I want to see how Billy comes back. I know last year I said AJ and Pitts. So this year I want to see how Billy comes back because Billy, him and Watts, matter of fact, let's put them two in the same thing. So I want to see Billy and Watts come back because I feel they started off real big. They was helping the defense out real big, and I want to see how those guys come back in a sophomore year. Hopefully, knock on wood, it's not a sophomore slump like most people like to say. But I want to see those guys and see how they gonna make their impact on their second year on the defensive side.
Absolutely. And thinking back to 2016 and or rather the years you were with Atlanta, brought back another one of your teammates, Austin Hooper. He's back
Yeah.
on the Falcons now to work opposite Kyle Pitts. Is that a good move? Do you think? I mean, I know Austin Hooper a little bit older now. Obviously, he's not going to be tight end one for this team, but from a depth perspective, from a player standpoint, what does Austin Hooper bring to this team?
Yeah, just being there, being that veteran leadership. Hooper has been in the league for a long amount of time, so I feel about them bringing a guy like Hooper in, not a selfish guy, want to give more information than anything, and he'll be able to lead by example also for Kyle. He probably already knowing going into it when he signed that he's not going to be number one, but if he's called up to be number one, he'll be able to step in and do what he need to do on that side of the ball. So I feel it wasn't a bad move for Atlanta. Matt was the quarterback during that time, so he know the type of guy that Austin is, hard worker. Um, will give information to the younger guys. So I feel that was a nice move for Atlanta to bring in a guy like Hooper. I feel to say Austin. Yeah, for Hooper.
For Hoop, yes, sir. And as a cornerback at that time, in practices, what is it like in a practice setting going up against Julio Jones?
Oh man, I was amped up all the time because going against a guy like Julio's caliber, when I came in, Julio was probably like, if not one, he was the number two. He was in the top three receivers during my time. So being able to go up against someone like that and just perfecting your craft and seeing how you stand up against someone that's arguably the top receiver in the NFL, it makes you bring it every day. So for me, every time it was one on ones, it was me going. I'm trying to get up there with Julio. Or when I first got here, it was Julio and it was Roddy. So I was able to get two of the best receivers when I was coming in. So I know, like I said, me and True, we came in together. We used to always be fighting, like, nah, man, I want to go here, I want to go here. So yeah, like we both was eager and just want to see like where you stand. Like when you're a young cornerback, you want to see where you stand at in this league, and you want to make your impressions to the coaching staff too. So why not go against their number one or two number ones on how you want to how people want to view it, and so just see how you stand as a young cornerback.
For sure. And last couple questions I got for you. This one is a two-parter. So I got to ask, when you were on that defensive group, was there like a main voice in that defensive lineup that, captain of sorts that you guys would sort of look to in the huddle to be like, okay, he's our voice? Or was it more of a group effort, sort of everybody being that voice together?
Yeah, I feel like when we first got here, man, it was like a group because you had Witherspoon, you had Babs, you have Deku, you had Moore, you had Ashante. So it was more so like a overall defense, a voice that you had. Because of course we was on the back end. So our voice would be the older guys like Ashante Samuel, or it would be Thomas Deku or William Moore. So it just depends on the position. Everyone has their top guy that who they feel will run that portion of it. So I'll say it'll be a collective team defensive side that had that voice that we looked up to.
Gotcha. Okay, because the reason why I was going to ask that, I was going to say with this current group, it's a lot of young guys on this defense. Was there anyone on in this that lineup right now that you're looking at saying, "Hey, you need to step up and sort of be that leader right now"? You look at it, AJ Terrell in the
Yeah.
secondary, at Jesse Bates. Those guys certainly obvious picks, but didn't know if there was anybody that you saw in this defensive lineup that you were looking to kind of take that next step and be sort of more of that voice.
Yeah. I mean, of course, you'll want to see the younger guys. Like you'll want to see someone like Billy, someone that's younger that would probably step up and come out of their comfort zone and lead and see themselves as that leadership role. But of course, it'll be someone. If you asking now, it'll be someone like Jesse or Terrell that are the older veteran guys on that side of the ball that most guys would look up to.
Absolutely. And you worked with Jeff Ulbrich, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
What is he like, man?
Oh man, Jeff is. freaking energizer. If you go back to when Jeff was playing, he was that way. So he's still the same way, just an older guy. Don't have that young face anymore. But yeah, Jeff is a guy that's always preaching, get turnovers, punch the ball, get the ball out, get the ball back for the offense. If you can, scoop it up and score, scoop it up and score. And he's a guy that's gonna bring it every day. A player led coach. I feel like if you talk to any guy on the defensive side of that ball right now that's with the organization, they're going to say they love Jeff. Like Jeff is one of those guys that's going to bring it, and someone that's been a player in the league, that's been in our shoes, so he's able to more so have that player coach type thing already, because he was a coach that was once in their shoes, so he know how they feel, and he only wants the best for those guys.
Absolutely. And last question I got for you, another fun one. The Atlanta Falcons gonna debut some new uniforms on April the 2nd. Now, is there any look that you're looking for? And do you have a favorite Falcons uniform that you played in?
I do. I want the all black. I love the all black. When I played, I wasn't able to really get into all black. We had the black uniform with the white pants, but I definitely love that. I see you got it back there now, that red helmet. Like I wanted to wear the red helmet so bad, man, when I was there. I think my rookie year, they wore the red helmets, but I think I was injured during that game, so I wasn't able to put them on. But if anything this year, if the Atlanta Falcons, anyone on that end is listening, please bring back some sort of all black with the black helmets. I feel like it would go real good for a home game, and we can black the stadium out and just rally the boys to a win.
Yeah, I'm obviously a sucker for the red helmets, but the all
Yeah, I
black
love
looks, they're clean, man. They look real good. Shout out to Jerry
it.
Glanville and the Mike Vick era, man. But
Right.
yeah, man, that's all the questions I got for you. Is there anything else that you got going on in your life, your career that you'd like to shout out and get people to check out?
Yes, so I have a Pilates studio that me and another partner of mine, we started is in Alpharetta. It's called Jet Set Pilates Alpharetta. If anyone listening that loves Pilates, please check out our spot. I feel you would love it. Try it at least one time. I feel like you will fall in love with it. And hey, just let us know how you feel about it if you're able to visit it out. But yes, we do have a Pilates studio that I feel like a lot of people would love.
Man, get your stretching in, get your workout in, go check out the Pilates studio that Robert Alford is going on. The former Falcons cornerback, Rocky, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you for coming on. And as always, please like, subscribe, and give us a 5-star rating on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasts. It is the Nest ATL. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah, thank you.